Your docs are lying to you, not because they are malicious, because they are absent a moment you need them. In the meeting, someone asks a basic question, and the answer evaporates. Next week, same question, same confusion. Onboarding becomes roulette. You spin through pages, tabs, and tribal memory. Then guess. Docs exist, but trust dies. Work slows, risk climbs. And the worst part is, you start planning around the assumption that nobody will find anything. That is not documentation. That is storage pretending to be memory. Moving to slide 2. A doc is a place to put words. Memory is a system that gets the right words back, at the right moment, with the right meaning. Most teams build the first and hope it behaves like the second. You can search, but search has no context. It does not know which page reflects the current decision, which detail is a footnote, and which sentence is the one you bet production on. You get pages without decisions, facts without priority, and truth without an owner. So people stop asking the doc and start asking the nearest human. Knowledge does not disappear. It just gains weight and falls toward the places you work every day. Moving to slide 3. Look at where your real knowledge lives. It is not in the wiki. It is in the Slack thread where someone finally explains the weird edge case. It is in the ticket comments where a PM clarifies the requirement after 3 reversals. It is in the PR discussion where the reviewer points out why the obvious fix breaks analytics. It is in the calendar invite where you made the call because the launch date moved and nobody had time to write it down. Knowledge has gravity. It sinks into the tools that create urgency. That is why your doc feels clean while your team feels confused. The clean doc is missing the messy part, the actual decisions and the reasons they survived. If you want docs people trust, stop thinking write a page. Think capture the moment a decision gets made. When a Slack thread resolves, when a ticket changes direction, when a PR merges after debate, that is the point to extract a durable note and link back to the source. Otherwise, the truth stays split across tools, and the only way to retrieve it is to remember who was there. Context is the missing file. Moving to slide 4. Most docs fail because they record what you did, not why you did it. The what is easy to copy. The why is what prevents you from repeating the same arguments for months. Write down constraints, because constraints drive decisions. Was it latency, legal, budget, a dependency you could not change? Then name the trade-off you accepted. You picked reliability over speed, or speed over polish. That single sentence explains a dozen future questions. Capture exceptions, because exceptions are where incidents come from. Normally we do X, except when Y. Also capture assumptions, because assumptions expire quietly. A vendor limit changes, a customer segment shifts, a team reorganizes. Suddenly the old decision is wrong, but the doc still sounds confident. A useful doc is not longer. It is anchored. One owner, one decision, one set of constraints, and a date that tells you how old the assumptions are. When that context is missing, search turns into a trap under pressure. Moving to slide 5. Search works when you are calm, curious, and have time to browse. Under stress, it betrays you. You use the wrong keyword because you do not know the internal name of the thing that is on fire. You get 0 results, so you assume nothing exists. Or you get 200 results, and you quit. Even when you find something, old pages rank first, so the most outdated guidance becomes the most visible guidance. Then you open 2 similar docs that conflict, and now you are making a high-risk decision while trying to guess which one is real. And time pressure blocks reading. You skim headings, miss one critical caveat, and ship the wrong change. If you want search to behave during incidents, docs need sharp signals, clear titles people actually type, explicit current as-of dates, and a single canonical link for the live decision. Without that, search is not retrieval. It is a stress test that your documentation will fail, and rot will win by default. Moving to slide 6. Documentation rots by default because the incentives are backwards. You ship a change, you get credit. You update a doc, nothing breaks immediately, so nobody notices. Add unclear ownership, and every page becomes a shared driveway. Everyone uses it, nobody maintains it. Then changes skip documentation because work arrives as patches, hotfixes, and quick Slack decisions. The code moves, the doc stays. People also clone truth into copies. A setup guide gets pasted into a ticket comment, then into a Notion page, then into a README. All of them look authoritative. None of them stay synced. The worst part is staleness becomes invisible. A new hire follows the doc, hits a failure, and assumes they did something wrong. They ask a teammate who gives the real steps from memory. Now the team has reinforced the habit. Ask a person, not the system. If you want docs that stay alive, you have to treat knowledge like production infrastructure, with owners, review loops, and feedback when it fails. Otherwise, the only reliable source becomes whoever remembers. Moving to slide 7. When docs rot, teams fall back on experts. A few heroes answer everything. You ping them for how to deploy, which dashboard is real, which feature flag is safe. It feels efficient until it becomes constant. Every interruption kills deep work. The expert stops building, starts routing, and a lot of knowledge stays tacit because it lives as judgment calls, shortcuts, and tribal context that never gets written down. That keeps your bus factor high. If one person is out, projects stall or ship risky changes. Over time, the hero pattern turns into burnout, resentment, and slower delivery for everyone. The fix is not asking experts to work harder. It is building a system where the first line of support is searchable, reliable, and shared. So experts spend more time creating value than repeating themselves. Moving to slide 8. AI helps most when it fixes retrieval first. Instead of guessing which wiki page is current, you ask in natural language, like you would ask a teammate. You want the answer, plus where it came from. A good setup pulls context across tools. It can read the runbook, the last incident review, the relevant pull request, and the Slack thread where the decision was made. Then it summarizes the long thread into the few points you actually need. And it should do something even more important. It should flag what is missing. If there is no canonical source for how do we roll back service X, the AI should say that clearly and point to the closest related material. That changes behavior. People stop hunting, stop pinging the hero, and start getting answers that are fast, consistent, and traceable. Once retrieval is solid, you can push knowledge one step further, into action. Moving to slide 9. Make knowledge executable. When you ask a question, the answer should not just explain. It should tell you what to do next, in the order you should do it. That means the response links to canonical sources, not random copies. It generates checklists for repeatable work, like on-call handoffs, incident response, and releases. It creates templates for tickets, postmortems, and change requests, so the same questions get answered every time. It also helps maintain the system. If a doc is out of date, the assistant suggests an owner based on who last touched the code or who owns the service. And when it detects a gap, it can open a ticket with the missing details, the affected teams, and the exact place the canonical source should live. Now documentation work is no longer a vague chore. It is a concrete task with a path to completion. That is how you turn knowledge from passive text into a workflow that keeps itself healthy, as long as you control what the AI is allowed to claim. Moving to slide 10. Guardrails beat hallucinations. Use retrieval augmented generation so answers come from your sources, not guesses. Require citations for any factual claim. No source, no claim. Add confidence labels when the evidence is thin, and escalate to a human owner when the system cannot back an answer. With these rules, AI becomes a trustworthy interface to your knowledge, and a pressure test for what your team still needs to supply. Moving to slide 11. If you want AI to be useful in your company, you need a knowledge supply chain, not a pile of links. Start with one canonical home per topic. Pick the system that can hold the long-term truth, like a doc hub or wiki, and treat everything else as intake. When a decision gets made, capture it at creation, right where it happens. In the ticket, the PR, the meeting note, the chat thread. Do not rely on memory or a retro write-up. Then automate the boring steps. Auto-summarize key threads into a short, consistent template. Decision, context, options considered, date, and the proof link. When someone answers the same question twice, promote that answer into the canonical doc and leak back to the source thread so it stays auditable. Finally, put staleness on a cadence. Every topic has an owner and a review date. If it is still correct, they click confirm. If not, they update it. That is how you get knowledge that stays alive and AI that stays trustworthy, without turning documentation into a second job. Moving to slide 12. Do not start by boiling the ocean. Choose one painful workflow where questions and rework are constant, like customer escalations or onboarding. Ingest only the top 5 sources people already trust. Then track 2 numbers: how many questions get deflected and how much time gets saved. Run a short weekly gap review. What did the assistant miss? What was outdated? What should be promoted into a doc? When accuracy stays stable, expand with confidence. Moving to slide 13. When this clicks, your team gets a new operating system. You stop depending on a few heroes who remember everything. New hires ramp with confidence because answers are consistent and searchable. Repeated questions drop because the best answer becomes the default answer. Decisions stay discoverable, including the why, not just the what. And work speeds up safely because everyone is acting on the same source of truth. If you want more scripts like this for building AI workflows that actually stick, subscribe and comment with the one workflow in your org that wastes the most time right now. Technology changes fast. Great systems last.